Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and a few days ago, I made a video talking about Roblox's lawsuit regarding a YouTuber known as Ruben Sim that went over $1.5 million. Yes, clean out your ears because that's the story we got today. Now ever since I made that video, I briefly looked at the lawsuit and kind of looked at it as a weird sort of scenario in the world of gaming. However, I failed to really go into what the implications for this really meant. Think about it like this, a big game developer suing a YouTuber is actually bigger information than you could imagine. Because if they were to be successful, it could potentially open the case for a bunch of other YouTubers or other ne'er-do-wells that companies don't necessarily like in regards to their own respective video games and potentially pursue legal threats. I mean, think about it like this. Imagine criticizing Rockstar Games for their terrible viewpoints of Grand Theft Auto, how they treat their games, and imagine potentially facing legal action by Take-Two themselves. This is scary, okay? Going up against multi-billion-dollar companies as a sole person is probably one of the fearful things that you can do in your entire life. But to understand, do they have any course against Ruben Sims? Now, this is actually a rather big case, and we got to go into a lot of things. But to start off with, a bunch of people came to me and told me more about the history regarding Ruben Sims and Roblox and, well, just a whole general spiel that we have to get into. But before we start this off, ladies and gentlemen, we have to touch upon the fact of what is Roblox. Is it a video game? Is it a metaverse? Is it possibly the answer to life's questions? Well, it might just be all three, because Roblox is bigger than a video game. In fact, if we look at Roblox as a company right now, Roblox has seen a meteoric rise. In fact, when it started out way back in the day, costing $67 a share, during the pandemic, in fact, the height of it, November 2021 is when Roblox peaked. Roblox went public. Roblox became a household name. It became the next big metaverse company. Now, metaverses are becoming more mainstream thanks to Meta, or what used to be Facebook, but metaverses have existed in plenty of facets, okay? Let's talk about it like this. We've seen Second Life, a game that I used to play for a little bit, there.com. In fact, Fortnite could be considered a metaverse with how many concerts it's had too, how many events it's had. Grand Theft Auto Online could theoretically be considered a metaverse. And metaverse technology is basically where we're taking video games, it seems, and allowing the actual capabilities of those video games to go through the roofs. Instead of just playing a video game, having it be a hub for major events that, because of lockdowns, because of being stuck inside our house for basically the last 2 years, have become very, very socially plausible, okay? They become situations where we can connect to people without actually meeting them in reality. As sad and cyberpunky as that sounds, this is the next big business. Now, Roblox has went beyond just gaming, okay? In fact, literally in 2021 November, the British Fashion Council and Gucci, yes, Gucci, cemented their place in the metaverse too. They actually work with Roblox, and I believe it or not, they've had a good old-fashioned award show within Roblox. Imagine an award show for fashion in a game where the characters are literally rectangular in nature. I don't know, I don't get it, but Gucci apparently did, and their minds are smarter than I. Then again, they also sold an Xbox for like $10,000 from last I remember, so it's wild. Lil Nas X, one of the biggest rappers in the world right now, has actually had a concert through Roblox, one that I even frankly attended. And it was a fun little event. You got to play Roblox for a little bit, meet some new people, and go to an event, go to a concert. This is the future, okay? The metaverse is the future in a lot of ways, because for certain events, doing them online is now a very big possibility, and it doesn't involve sitting in front of a fucking Zoom call for hours on end. Now, it shouldn't come as a shock to you that a game about oofing is very popular with the kids. Roblox might be one of the most popular pieces of software amongst the younger generation. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that a large percentage of Roblox's population may not even be able to read yet. Some of them may even be wearing diapers. Now, if you think about it, Minecraft is a game that's geared towards kids, but plenty of adults play it. Pokemon, game obviously marketed towards kids, but plenty of adults play that stuff. Roblox is a game that frankly goes under the radar too much. In front of our community, it always seems like a giant meme, but if you see any child, this is all that they play. I know about Roblox a lot from my younger sort of cousins, okay? These are people that are like 8 to 9 years old. They're just touching 10. For them, Roblox is basically a nice hot day at the park with your friends, okay? They sit down, they fire up their iPads, and they play some fucking Bed Wars, okay? This is how Roblox operates. And with that demographic, it might be one of the most popular games out there. Now, Now, Roblox's big benefit is basically being so easy to access. This thing could run on your grandmother's vibrator at this point. So basically sitting down and playing Roblox on a low-end iPad, a low-end tablet, low-end computer, a cell phone, all the way up to the highest-end computers or Xbox devices, you can sit down and play all those Roblox games with your friends. It's a great way to distribute and play these titles with anyone. Roblox has a million type of games too. Adopt Me. Hell, just last month, the entire YouTube space was playing Squid Games within Roblox. But this also brings up another big question. Roblox's reliance on copyright infringing materials. That will be a later touch into the video, because there's a fair amount of Roblox controversies we gotta get into. Now, if we go onto YouTube just alone, and this is not the best metric, but YouTube Gaming shows you top live games. For instance, Grand Theft Auto 5. 71,000 people are watching GTA 5 right now. In fact, if you view some of these streams, you can absolutely... Whoa! Whoa! Okay. That's certainly not GTA from what I expected. I thought there would be a lot more roleplay, not Shark and Spider-Man. That's rather interesting. But yeah, you can see that GTA is always filled with, man, there's a lot of Spider-Man and Avengers characters on lawnmowers. What is happening with the fucking algorithm, dude? I gotta really question this. Buying every supersonic for $1 in GTA 5. Alright, okay, let's get to a more I think GTA might be a more kid-friendly game than Roblox, god damn. Okay, Roblox has 4,500 people watching, and it actually might be more adult than the GTA section. But if you look into Roblox, most of the content creation is obviously geared towards the kids, alright? In certain cases, you can find games like Roblox Brookhaven RP. I don't know if this is a prison thing, but wanna do it? Emoji, emoji, emoji. Hey, dude, I even made it into the Roblox thing. God damn! Woo! I feel honored, man. That's the best. That's the peak of my YouTube career. But you can also find that Roblox has a lot of RDC material. In fact, very recently from Roblox, they had the Roblox Developer Conference. This is a place where the many developers, the people who are actually creating all the games behind Roblox, come together to basically conference over the future and what ultimately will make them hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, okay? This is the focal point we'll be touching on later, but it is pretty popular. It's a big deal. For Roblox, their investor days and their RDC conferences are sort of the pipeline that keeps the lights on. Escaping the daycare obby in Roblox. God, dude. I'm gonna upload a video like that. Escaping the obbies, dude. I'm gonna do it one day. Roblox banned P game. Every time I do Roblox, we always gotta mention Flamingo in there. Why would a P game be banned? Unless it's Roblox China, but we'll get to that in a bit too. Now, to understand this level of content creation, obviously a lot of these people gear towards children. There is one creator mentioned at the beginning of this video that is much more adult in oriented nature, okay? This is Ruben Sim, okay? Ruben Sim is the type of guy to make videos like sneaking Chinese Roblox users over the firewall. In this video, Ruben basically goes in and breaks into the Chinese version of Roblox, because Roblox, like most American tech companies, are banned in China. Therefore, they have to make an original version of their product that caters to their players only. This is Roblox China, okay? And if you're wondering why you can't read anything, I can't either, because I didn't install the Chinese text packs in my operating system. I'm sorry. But they've got an entire thing going on, some collaboration and everything. What is really funny about this is what is required to get in. If you're a developer for Chinese Roblox, there are a couple of guidelines you have to follow. For one, in order for UGC to comply with PRC laws, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau should not be referred to as separate countries. You ever wonder why Ruben puts the Taiwanese flag on here? That's because Ruben doesn't play by the rules. Basically, the big difference between Roblox US and Roblox China is in China, you can't have skeletons and the mention of Tiananmen Square. The US, that shit's all fine and dandy. Don't believe me? They don't really allow scary content. No extremely scary skeletons or zombies. Only moderately scary or moderately hilarious skeletons are allowed. Although in Roblox's GPU rendering pipeline, I don't think you can really render a scary skeleton. Actually, I kind of stand corrected. Look at this one. EXE I made with, yes, an EXE game in 2021. They actually remade Sonic.exe. That, my friends, wouldn't get you through Roblox China, I'm pretty sure. But damn, these Roblox game developers are putting in their effort. Now, Ruben Sim, beyond this kind of content, if you look at their humble beginnings, alright, they were always involved in the Roblox world, okay? They were always doing it. Given tours of Roblox Watch HQ. Roblox Watch was effectively just Drama Alert, but for Roblox. Put that one through your heads. Kid gets roasted on Phantom Forces. Don't know what Phantom Forces is? Imagine CSGO and maybe Rainbow Six Siege in the world of Roblox. Actually very fun. But when Ruben Sim started to go down this pipeline, you had to realize that he was never going to be a family-friendly Roblox creator, and that unfortunately puts you at odds with the Roblox community. Or sorry, the moderation, because the community's all fine with it. It's the moderation that has an issue. This is a page of the list of controversial users, okay? These are Roblox users that have achieved significantly controversial reputations. I guess they used the word fuck one too many times. That's what I'm understanding. Some of these characters include people like Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic became popular through his game Live in a 5-Star Island Resort. The game was heavily criticized mainly for its use of free models and the abundance of online daters that visited the game. Why one would use this as a version of Tinder, I don't know. But if you use Roblox as a dating service, I think the FBI needs to have you on a fucking list somewhere. I'm just putting it out there. Supremacy was an infamous Roblox clickbait YouTuber known for his free Robux scams. Ah, yeah, then they deserve to be removed. For instance, this is Ruben Sim's place on the actual Roblox controversial list. For instance, one of the most popular names was Navy838, Get Camped On Nerd, and Powering Manipulation. But if you look at one of the most recent offenses, his account was terminated for swearing in front of the administrators, and my golly gosh, using voice chat. Jesus Christ, what a damnable offense. Somebody called The Hague. Now, what caused the falling out of Ruben with the Roblox moderation team was an event known as Furrygate. Let's get started with what happened. According to our friend Ruben, who uploaded a video called Roblox Watch Season 1 Episode 16, basically removed now, he describes what effectively caused this Roblox turf war. Let's hear it.
Not safe for work account on his Roblox affiliated Twitter account. This was really the nail in the coffin for my alias, and from this point onward, doing so much as mentioning my name on the site, whether it was on the forums, in-game, or even like in your bio, would get you permanently banned. And there's a lot of accounts in Roblox hell for saying Ben Simon on the forums. So this segment came out in May of 2016. It was over 3 years ago, and regardless, I'm still being banned by to this day. So a month ago, I met him in-game on an account that I was about to win. He was like the last person left, and he was on the enemy team. So I typed in chat something.
Now, generally, from what we understood about Ruben was always pushing the buttons regarding Roblox's head administration, but one of the things that really knocked him was a user known as Noble Dragon, who ended up being a moderator, who was, and I believe still is a moderator on Roblox, that basically was called out for following a NSFW furry account on their official, or what it seemed like, partnered Roblox Twitter account. Now, obviously a game that's centered around children, okay, if those kids were to go onto Twitter, which I don't even think they're old enough to have an account, would have clicked on this person, they might have fallen down a pipeline of furry adult stuff that most kids of that age probably should not be. In fact, I would say all kids of that age shouldn't be exposed to. Keep all that stuff for when you turn 18, and then you can decide how you want to pursue life going on forward. But that said, that's enough power level-y stuff for me. That's effectively one of the reasons why Ruben believes to be targeted unfairly by Roblox. Now, after you get one account banned, as per many terms of service requirements, you will not be allowed to make further accounts. That is called ban evading. If you get banned from one service and then you make an account the following day and the administrators or anybody figures out that that's you, they'll ban you without thinking. That's a standard practice anywhere. So once he was banned, it wasn't really a matter of, I'm being unfairly targeted. No, dog, you kicked yourself out of the platform to begin with. That's pretty much how it goes. You might be able to survive on an alt, no problem. But if that gets tied to you and your infamy, you're gone. That's just unfortunately how it works. Now, Roblox is not against terminating some moderators on their own. In fact, according to the list over here, user MSE6 was an admin on Roblox, as well as a super moderator, forum moderator, and every time it's the moderators, man. She has been criticized heavily by the off-topic and Roblox talk community for issuing unfair bans. Yeah, when your life is, when the only thing in life you got going for you is the moderation on a kid's game, whew, that's a sad fucking life. She is a well-known atheist and thought to impose her views on others and banning people who disagree with her views. You believe in God? Well, you better goddamn get out of here, am I right? That was terrible. Yeah, apparently they were terminated in 2020. They were inactive since 2016. That's a whole video right there. I really want to dig into this person. I think that might be a series of videos. The Roblox Crime Watch, okay? The Roblox Neighborhood Watch. I think that's a good series idea on this channel. Now, let's go relook at the lawsuit one more time. Now, to reiterate something, I really do think that this is a very frivolous lawsuit in a lot of ways, okay? There are some parts of this that I'll specifically be covering that I think would be laughed at in a courtroom, okay, by anybody, let alone a judge. But let's start off, okay? So first off, they mentioned that, Robert, the actual case, Ruben Sims, had a cyber mob. Basically, they ran a group of people. Again, the translation to this is he probably was on a Discord with like 10, 20, whatever amount of other people, and they used this entire group, or at least alleged to by Roblox, to have used this group to harass and cause distress over at Roblox. Now, of course, to understand what these lawsuits, firms that Roblox hires, these are big firms. If they're pursuing a lawsuit like this, they probably already have the screenshots, the video evidence, and everything. And we're going to be looking at some irrefutable evidence in this video alone, too. That once you have all of it archived and cataloged, they're probably in the right legally. But let's cover everything, okay? So beyond that, one of their first ones, 2A, was posting false and misleading threats to discourage Roblox users from participating in in-person and online events. So that includes Roblox Developers Conference in San Francisco. Now, remember earlier in the video I said Roblox is a big company. Their big pipeline of funds comes from these developers, because when you have these developers who are making money, they make the big games that attracts the little kids who are spending the Robux and bringing in massive volumes of cash into this vertically integrated online metaverse that is known as Roblox. You threaten that pipeline? Ooh, you're threatening the cash flow. And when you turn off the cash flow, all the fangs come out. Now, B is glamorizing the April 3rd shooter and murder at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California. Now, there's apparently postings, which we looked at last video. Some of these postings just don't happen to exist. And if they do exist, none of them actually come from Ruben's own Twitter account. Or at least Ruben's own Twitter account posting it as text, okay? They went in, typed it out on their phone, and hit tweet. If anything, what it seems like is there's been a lot of quote retweeting and mentioning of other users who are making these mentions on Ruben's own account. Now, to understand legally if Ruben himself isn't directly tweeting this out and quote tweeting it from somebody, that can be argued as maybe Ruben's promoting it, but I don't think you can say that Ruben is specifically said that, this is a threat that I'm giving. If Ruben's quote tweeting somebody, I don't know how much of a direct threat that could be considered when this is brought up in court. Reportedly circumventing the technological barriers elected to block defendant from accessing the Roblox platform. Now, what's interesting is some people have clarified this and told me that maybe it sounds like Ruben is trying to hack Roblox. And I think this is a very, very, very large stretch of the term hacking in general. What Ruben was doing was effectively creating sock puppet accounts through a VPN, or maybe not through a VPN. I don't know how secure Roblox is. But making an alt account is basically not even close to hacking, okay? It's not bypassing a technological barrier. All he did was he created a separate account, fake email, fake username, fake everything, signed onto the servers and called it a day. At no point did Ruben use any tools to circumvent or destroy the actual protections on Roblox. If you IP ban the guy, okay, and he uses a VPN, maybe that could be argued as a hack, but stretching that into breaking technological barriers is an incredibly, incredibly large stretch that they're going to have to prove in court. I'm just saying. Violating Roblox terms of use, and this is where I think it's frivolous, engaging in sexual conversations with users, discussing acts, engaging in singling out users and groups for ridicule of abuse, attempting to upload a nude image of himself with only a lampshade covering the genitals. That means somewhere in the evidence docket, they actually have a nude of Ruben that a judge is going to be seeing with their own beautiful eyes. That's where it gets kind of a little frivolous, I'd say. Using racial and homophobic slurs. I don't know why that specifically is mentioned. I'm sure a lot of people have used those in Roblox anyways. It's an online game, for crying out loud. So singling this person out for that in connection to the above serious threats, that's where the frivolous stuff comes out. cyberbullying and harassing Roblox employees and executives, including libelous personal accusations. Again, this is where they're starting to mention things about the CEO. When it came to his Drama Alert series, when he talked about, Roblox Watch, where he covered Roblox events in reality and added a spicy little meme-tacular twist to it, this is where they're specifically going on E. Now, I personally have never seen Noble Dragon's, Twitter follower history, so this is all that Ruben's alleging. Ruben has alleged that that user was following adult furry accounts. Now again, I can't prove it. I've seen screenshots from his channel, but unless I can prove it myself, I can't choose to die on these hills, okay, legally speaking. But these are sort of the libelous personal accusations that Roblox is most likely going to. Regarding anything with the CEO and executive branch, this is sort of the final nail in the coffin. Now, of course, Ruben was never an accepted person in the Roblox upper echelon. So yeah, all of these things culminating into this lawsuit, this has been like years in the making. This is years of poking the bear that has caused this to happen. Whether Ruben is in the right or wrong goes into the next piece of the puzzle. But before we jump into the other piece of the puzzle, the actual lawsuit basically details several incidents of what has appeared to be targeted harassment of Roblox users. For one, he solicited information on another Roblox user so that he could target that user with harassment. Again, 25A is going to need some serious proof on this actually happening. Maybe some Discord screen grabs, maybe some, text history. Something's got to exist. That's serious. 25B has impersonated Roblox employees online and other forums in a manner targeted to permanently injure their reputation in the public eyes with false portrayals and statements. Unless he pretended to be the moderator that he has a beef with and actually stated in public forums, impersonated them, and tried to make them look bad, that might be a screen grab, and if it is, it fits 25B. 25C uploaded a video targeted at Roblox CEO that at one point depicts defendant shooting guns. What? Wait, shooting guns at the person? That's left out, or maybe the language is left intentionally vague. I have no idea. Made false statements that a massive accident at a former job that killed people was the impetus for the creation of Roblox. 25C and 25D are going to need some actual explanations. The problem with this lawsuit that I find is the actual lawsuit in this case has a lot of serious stuff, like those terror threats that are being brought into questions at Roblox RDC. And then this, like, what? You can't just put it all into one. You can't just bow tie it. Pick the best pieces and call it a day. You don't have to have a 19-page docket if like 7 pages of that are serious and the other ones are, what? Like, the language is all out there, okay? Come on now. According to this lawsuit, if you make any mature content on Roblox, you're sitting on a tightrope, okay? You're playing Russian roulette with your career and your life, okay? That if you make mature content on Roblox, you might want to step away. Hell, according to this thing, I might be liable. I made a video about cannibalism roleplay on Roblox. I'm not a child-friendly creator. I might be open for libel lawsuits. Christ. Now, way back last video, when I looked at Ruben Sim's Twitter account, one thing is to note is Ruben Sims has a bot, apparently, from what I've been told, that deletes the previous day's tweets. So here you can see the last tweet today right now is 23 hours ago. A bot will soon clear this history out. But why would somebody do this? Well, from what I've been told, Ruben actually does this to avoid DMCA strikes. And that I can 100% believe. Twitter's DMCA rules are actually way worse than YouTube's rules, in the sense that anybody can find any single tiny clip on your actual Twitter account and just send a DMCA suit. And that will require you to always send a countersuit, which in certain cases you can. I do through a legal channel, but Twitter's DMCA laws are all out there. Basically, if you get a couple strikes, they take it on your Twitter account. It's just a massive shit show. However, for me, when I use a bot to get rid of anything, if I do, I have to just get rid of media stuff. Using text is not going to get you removed via DMCA, from my knowledge. So the fact that Ruben deletes every tweet is still a little bit sussy-wussy. But what isn't sussy-wussy is this tweet. Now, of course, if we look at the ad, Real Ruben Sim. Now, using something called the Wayback Machine, all right, which keeps a cataloged archive of certain pages, one can find Add Real Ruben Sim. This is from 14th October 2021. Now, this tweet has breaking: San Francisco police are currently searching for notorious Julius Al Muhammad. If you see this individual at RDC, please call 911 immediately. Now, what makes this legally weird is the text in this case was shared by real Ruben Sim. Now, real Ruben Sim in this case shared this text over here, right? Breaking. This is the text post that he put into Twitter. But what's rather interesting is the image. So the image is someone blow up Roblox now. Now, it goes without saying, any terror organization or criminal organization is never to be, never to be sort of fantasized or romanticized. They're all terrible organizations that deserve to be absolutely buried and taken down. And at the end of the day, whether you think of edgy humor or whatnot, a security company that you hire or a law firm never will take that, not seriously. They have to treat every single mention headed towards them with 100% DEFCON level seriousness. Because if they don't, then they're not doing their job right, or they're not doing the job that they're contracted to do. That's the reality of the situation. So when they see something like this at RDC, which again, reminder, it's a pipeline for making money at Roblox. If you hamper that, you hamper the whole thing. This is enough. But see, this wasn't made by Ruben. This was made by another user known as Julius Cole. Now, Julius Cole, for a quick primer, is known as a Roblox troll. Roblox trolls are basically just content creators that are out there to make just basically the worst quality shitposts that you can find. Even worse quality than mine. Now in this case, this is a user that sits down and basically, remember when we looked at the Bun Bun Girls? Remember when we looked at that stuff? These are just Roblox trolls, okay? They're entire groups that basically come at the thought of being known on the internet. You give them a little bit of attention and it basically revitalizes them into a whole new different entity, an energetic being, if you will. This is the person who was tied to making that original post. In fact, the video has even been re-uploaded as well too. It even matches the goddamn timestamp. The video is entirely available right here too. Again, Ruben didn't post this. Somebody else posted this. And Ruben simply shared it. And Ruben was the one being targeted by Roblox for promoting these situations. So again, given the history of him poking the bear at Roblox, making these final mentions at RDC 21, was the whole reason that he was intentionally targeted by Roblox's legal team. He was the largest person involved out of it. Now realistically, if you ask me, this guy and the other troll should have been targeted. If they're the ones that made the threats, they're the ones that made the threats. But at the end of the day, with so much stuff getting deleted and lost to time, the colder this case becomes, the more reliant we are on Roblox's legal team to have all these screenshots archived. Who knows what they've been saving? The more I look at Roblox, the more controversies have slowly become to rise. For instance, you can't deny that a big chunk of Roblox's income comes from actually violating, copyrighted materials. I mean, think about the meteoric rise in some of the games that have attracted the larger mainstream community. Yeah, it's totally okay for Roblox to be sitting there with all the Squid Game clones, at some point literally having audio from the show itself be part of the game, and somehow they're just sitting there profiting off of all the Robux and shit spent on it, is a little wild and weird to me. There's also been claims from other YouTubers and, publications of Roblox exploiting the younger user base that develops video games for it. To understand, Roblox is a vertically integrated business, from what I think that's the right terminology, where a lot of the money that Roblox makes, they're always taking a cut out of it. They're always taking a giant chunk. I think it's somewhere around the point of 24 to 25% of money makes it back to the actual Roblox developer, or at least that's what it seems. But with all the cuts and premiums that they take out of the actual user, I think the closer number is probably around 18 to 17%. But basically, people who are joining into the Roblox world to make money find out that only a select few make cash. Roblox's discoverability is also very dog shit. Basically, Roblox benefits from giving a small percentage of people in its developer community money, okay? They turn them into celebrities. These developers are the ones who are pushing some of the most popular games, like Adopt Me and all of that stuff. But a very small percentage of these people are actually profiting. So that means a large community is making products. They're even selling some of these products, but they're not making anywhere nearly close to enough to make it out. It's kind of like the YouTube creator economy in a way too, right? Like I would say 95% of creators on YouTube are not making anywhere close to a significant amount of money. 5% of them actually are. Same could be said for Roblox. However, in Roblox's case, being a kid-oriented game, attracting people who might just be budding new game developers is almost, in a way, kind of predatory if you think about it. But that being said, though, that's a whole different story. But for now, this really should put into the bed of what is one of the weirdest video game lawsuits to kick in, where a content creator is being targeted by a multi-billion-dollar company. And to understand, this does scare me. It scares me because the more I think about about it, if this passes in Roblox's favor, could be almost precedent-setting for larger companies all around to take over. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like this deeper dive into Roblox and Ruben Sim, and frankly, this entire picture as a whole. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.